Hi guys, this is the worksheet from Maths Online. It's one from last week, but it's one a couple of people have asked me questions about, factorisation by common factor. It's the last one in Algebra, and how do we do it? So if we have a look at here, we've got the first question there. Sorry about the handwriting. 3x plus 3y, what does it equal? So it's asking us to factorise. So we have to have something out the front and something in brackets. So the part that goes out the front is the factor. It is the highest number or the common letter in both terms. So the common number in both of these is 3. 3 goes into this one, 3 goes into this one. So we put 3 there. Now the first thing that goes here is whatever you have to times 3 by to get to 3x. So you could do numbers first. 3 times what gives 3? 1. And add your letter on. Now that is exactly the same as if you had left the 1 off. So you could just leave it as x. You do the same here. 3 times by what will give us a positive 3y. Well, positive times a positive gives a positive. So 3 times what gives 3? 1. Add your letter. And that's exactly the same as just doing this. Okay. 3 bracket x plus y, close bracket. Let's do one of the trickier ones. Here we go. Let's do this one together. X, I, which is 12. We've got 42a minus 70y. Now, equals. We have to find the highest common factor, so the highest number that goes into 42 and 70. Might be a little bit tricky. Here's the technique. So, highest common factor, we use factor trees. You might have learnt this in younger years. 42 is one number, the other number is 70, and we start branching off, and we give two numbers that multiply together to give 42. 6 and 7. Circle your prime numbers. That's a prime number. And if you're wondering what's a prime number, it's any number that can only be the answer of itself and 1 when they're multiplied. So 7, the only numbers that multiply together to give 7 are 1 and 7. There's no other combinations. So that makes it a prime number. 6, 1 and there can be 1 and 6, but it could also be 3 and 2. They're both prime numbers. There are no other numbers that multiply to give 3 other than 3 and 1. It's a prime number. Same for 2. There's no other numbers that multiply together to give 2 other than 2 and 1. So it's a prime number. We do the same for 70. Now I'm going to choose 35 and 2. 2 is a prime number. 35 is not. We could go 7 times by 5. Now they're both prime numbers. Okay, no other numbers will multiply together to give 7 except for 7 and 1. No other numbers multiply together to give 5 except 5 and 1. So now we're going to list them. 42 was 5, 2, and 7. And surprisingly, if you times those together, 5 times 2 is 10. It's not a 5, that's a 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 7 is 42. we get that answer. For 70, our prime numbers, 7, so circled ones, times by 5, times by 2. 7 times 5 is 35, 35 times by 2 is 70. Okay, now we're doing this common part. We're going to find the highest common factor. Is there a 3 in here and in here? No, so we don't need it. Is there a 2 in here and here? Yes. Okay, they're common. So highest common factor equals, and we're going to put the 2 there. And is there a 7 and a 7? Yes. 2 times by 7, 14. There you go. So the highest common factor here is 14. So 14 times by what gives 42? Well, if we open up our calculator, 42 divided by 14 will tell us how many go into it. 3. Whoops, there's my mouse. And then the letter A. And 70. How many times does 14 go into 70? So 70 divided by 14. 70 divided by 14, 5. And then the letter. Okay, so guys, the hardest thing is working out your highest common factor. And if you follow this technique every single time, you will come up with the highest common factor. Let's do one more where they look a little bit tricky. I think I might have picked the hardest one for you. Yep, I did. Okay, so if you can follow this tree technique each time, you will come up with the highest common factor. I just saw this one. Let's have a look at that one. X, V, 15, 16, 17th one. 5m plus 5mn equals. Now, the highest common factor in terms of the numbers there is 5. In this one, they've both got an m, so we can put that there. What goes in the brackets? 5m times by what gives 5m? 1. 5m times by what gives 5mn? N. Okay, 5m bracket 1 plus n close bracket. Hopefully guys use those as the examples plus what was in the instructional video on Maths Online. You should be okay.